Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Okay, a couple of things. I'm going to go back and respond to the comments already under the video that I released last night because people are asking good questions. And this is what I like about when I do make a video and I come back and respond to your comments. Although I haven't done it in a while, I will go back to some of the videos and respond to your comments because you guys are asking good questions. So let me show you what I'm talking about as we go along here, okay? Let's get started. I just want to give everybody a quick reminder. You can go over to Pimpy's News Network. It is free for everybody. Everybody has access to the videos that are on the website. Just so you are aware, down below is a link to go to Pimpy's News Network. It is now up and running. There was a huge error going on, and it had nothing to do with the website. It had to do with a provider that I was using. For the longest time, they couldn't get it fixed. So you can go on over there now and see videos that are uploaded. Just follow the link down below. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Miles Franklin. The link will be down below in the description. When you make your purchase, make sure you use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they'll take care of you. If you have any additional questions, you can reach us over here at this phone number or over here at this particular email. For all orders over $10,000, reach out by email and we'll make sure that you get a great deal. So come on over to Miles Franklin and add to your precious metal inventory. All right, I spoke about this just yesterday and somebody already woke up this morning and ordered one of these little helicopters. This here is the Ben Bernanke 26-ounce 999 fine silver statue or figurine. It depends on what you want to call it. The propeller spin. This is great detail. These figurines, and people got a lot of them. There's dragons out there. There's all kinds of designs. Or the Trump figurines, you know, where there's only like 5 or 8 ounces of silver going for about $1,000. These types of investments are for the artwork itself. I know I have a crap load of rare coins. They're for the designer of the coins. So if you're into figurines, you definitely want to get one of these copters. You're not going to find a 26-ounce silver figurine anywhere on the internet for as cheap as this is. Like I said, we saw yesterday in a video the Trump figurine for over $1,000, and I believe it only had, what, 8 ounces of silver? This is 26 ounces of silver.
Here is the silver chopper Ben Bernanke.
That is so cool.
Can you even see his tie flying in the wind while he throws out $100 bills?
Look at him getting ready to throw that money out there.
I see that.
Because that's what it looks like when
That
Ben
even looks
Bernanke-
like his sorry ass.
Look at the size of the bald silvery head.
Yeah.
It's enormous. Back propellers spin too.
How many ounces is that?
That's 26 ounces of 3/9 fine silver, homie.
As you can see here, some of the key features with your silver chopper Ben figurine, you can really get the control panel. Look, there's a whole dashboard for Ben to fly.
He wants to fly onto your desk and throw
Yeah,
$100
here,
bills
Ben.
down. Look at the precision.
I see that.
Crazy old bastard.
He's got 2 sets of spinnable propellers
This
still.
thing is great.
Dude, you could fly that thing.
Wow. I could.
Look how happy he is. I think he's actually going to get out there and throw the $100 bills.
Jerome, no!
There'll be $1,000 bills by then.
I got this.
I like it.
Get the history before it's made.
Just click the link below to get your silver chopper Ben now.
So you can see Chris having a lot of fun with that. So if you're interested in buying one, give him a call over here at 844-874-6797. Tell them that Pimpy sent you over there and you're interested in a 26-ounce Ben Bernanke. Definitely give him a call and let him know you're interested in buying one of those. It's fun to play with. Like I said, the propeller spin, it's a great investment, especially if you're into figurines. So yesterday I did a video for the hydrocarbon law. It's interesting to me that I always see these content creators out there talking about the hydrocarbon law, the real effective exchange rate, and have no idea what the hell they're talking about. It's really interesting. You know, I hear these content creators go, well, all we're waiting for is Iraq to give the real effective exchange rate. Why? What for? That tells me that they don't know what they're talking about. We don't care about the real effective exchange rate. What we're looking for is the nominal exchange rate. There is a difference between the two. And we don't have to wait for Iraq to give us the real effective exchange rate. It's already out there. You just got to Google it and look for it. So now that you have it, what does that mean? So go ahead and ask people like Militia Man. Go ahead and ask Melanie. Go ahead and ask Frank26. Go ahead and ask Mark Z. You guys, you keep saying you want this real effective exchange rate. Now that it's out there, what does that mean? What does it do? What they're looking for is a change in the nominal exchange rate. All right. It says right here at the mark 150, it says OML. So funny. I love this. I know what you're talking about. The picture, right? Let's see. 150. I know, huh? It's pretty good. Except for we should have this eyelash hanging down, kind of drooping and off center. That'll look realistic. I watch a lot of videos on what's happening globally. I read the financials. I'm an ex-banker, but I do check in with you, Pimpy, and I have to say, when you do a show on Satan, and how you do it, laughing my ass off, which brings me to such joy. At the end of all my hard research on real issues, I swear you could almost take this on the road and be an Iraqi Dinar comedian. Yeah, you like that, huh? Keep speaking the truth. Keep exposing the lies. Thank you. God bless. Merry Christmas. Looking forward to your next Iraqi Dinar video. I appreciate that. I really do. If I'm being feisty, I'll really go on a roll and just be silly. It can really tear people up. But, you know, again, to each their own. I don't care what they talk about. I really don't. I usually don't comment on anything unless I really believe that they're purposely misleading people or taking advantage of people. And Melanie's whole channel is about fraud. It's about ripping people off. Talking about, blah, 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 blah. Oh, God told me that this next financial plan, you guys got to pay for $199. I don't want to hear you complain about the $199 price. What the hell? God's telling you? Look, if she's really talking to God, you know what God would say? You should be giving this to them for free. Because that's how God is. Pimpy, the only source I listen to for the dinar. Thanks, Pimpy. You are very welcome, and I appreciate your confidence. Thanks, Pimpy. You are very welcome. The Pimpster rocks. Keep going, buddy. I surely will. Mr. Sandman, it's all a dream. Mel. Did she have a fallout with Sandman 1, 2, and 10, and 15, and 20? I don't know how many different Sandmans she claims to have. I have a high-ranking intelligent officer. No, you don't. She has some person just sending her news articles. There is no special intel because the military has nothing to do with the Iraqi dinar. There was an interview back in, I believe, 2009, 2010 with Ollie from Dinar Trade. He also said that the hydrocarbon law is a necessity for the increase in the dinar. Unfortunately, CNBC pulled the interview from whatever reason, I question. But I heard it with my own ears. Believe it or not, that's up to you. Okay, but see, this is a good point. So you heard an interview, and a hydrocarbon law is necessary to increase the dinar. It's a great point. We're going to expand on that because that's not what's happening in the dinar community. People aren't explaining to you in detail why all these other things are contributing factors to the growth of the Iraqi dinar. We don't have to get too crazy on it, but here you go. First of all, I just want to start off by saying this. Anything and everything that affects Iraq's economy affects the currency value. Some things have little to no effect on the Iraqi dinar exchange rate. Some things have a much bigger impact on the value of the currency. So the Iraqi hydrocarbon law plays a crucial role in shaping the economic landscape of Iraq, particularly in relation to its currency exchange rate. The law governs the exploration, production, and management of oil and gas resources, which are vital to Iraq's economy. Understanding how this law affects the currency exchange rate involves examining several interconnected factors. So these are a list of factors on how the hydrocarbon law does affect the exchange rate, all right? Oil revenue dependency. Iraq's economy is heavily reliant on oil revenues, which account for over 90% of the government's income and approximately 60% of the gross domestic product, the GDP. The hydrocarbon law aims to create a regulatory framework that encourages foreign investment in the oil sector by attracting foreign companies to invest in oil extraction and production. Iraq can increase its oil output and revenue. Higher oil revenues contribute positively to the national budget, which can strengthen the Iraqi dinar against other currencies. So yeah, it does have an effect, I should say, on the currency exchange rate, but this makes it sound really black and white. A couple of things about this paragraph. Sure, they can increase their output and generate more revenue through more oil production. You got to remember that OPEC keeps an eye on the price per barrel when it goes out into the world. If all of them started pumping oil at their maximum amounts, well, they would saturate the market and the price per barrel would go down. Supply and demand, there wouldn't be a lot of demand because it'd be all over the place. That's why Trump being in office is going to have an effect on Iraq's oil prices. He did this before the first time he was in office. If he produces a lot of oil and they become the number one exporter of energy and people start buying U.S. oil cheaper than we can get in Iraq, it's going to drive the prices down, which will have a negative effect on Iraq altogether because the price per barrel that they need in order to afford their budget is $70 per barrel. That's their mark. It should have been lower, but that's the mark they set. So anytime you're below that, you start to get into what's called a deficit for the budget. So sure, they can increase output in oil, but it will affect the overall cost per barrel, drive it down. The fact that they're talking about more oil helps the overall budget for Iraq is both a negative and a positive thing. Sure, you get the money from it, but you're trying to take Iraq away from depending too much on the sale of oil. We want them to have other means of revenues coming into the government. So we're trying to get away from relying so much on oil to produce the revenue they need for their budget. Foreign investment attraction. The hydrocarbon law is designed to provide clarity and stability for foreign investors. A well-defined legal framework reduces risk associated with investments in Iraq's hydrocarbon sector. When foreign direct investments increases due to favorable conditions set by this law, it leads to an influx of foreign currency into Iraq. This influx can enhance demand for the Iraqi dinar as businesses and investors convert their currency into dinars for local transactions, potentially leading to an appreciation of the dinar. So yes, we need them to go 100% using Iraqi dinar to do their business. We know at the beginning of last year, they started to do that, get away from using the dollar altogether. They do not want to use a dual currency in their country. The more they use the dinar, the more the demand for the dinar, the more the value of the dinar goes up. Exchange rate stability. A stable exchange rate is essential for economic planning and investment decisions. The hydrocarbon law can contribute to exchange rate stability by ensuring consistent revenue streams from oil exports. If the law successfully boosts production capacity and attracts investments, it can lead to predictable cash flows into the economy. The predictability helps stabilize the exchange rate because it reduces volatility associated with fluctuating oil prices. This is something that they are working on. They're not there yet. That's why they have a fixed exchange rate and are not free floating. So anything that can lead to the stabilizing of the exchange rate is a good thing. But again, the politicians that are in power, they make their money off chaos. They make their money off the exchange rate not being stable. Impact on inflation. Increased oil revenues resulting from effective implementation of the hydrocarbon law may also influence inflation rates in Iraq. If revenues are managed wisely through prudent fiscal policies, the government could avoid excessive money supply growth that typically lead to inflationary pressures. A controlled inflation environment supports a strong currency value, since high inflation often erodes purchasing power and negatively impacts currency valuation. This is something that I spoke about many of times. Really, Iraq has to make sure that whatever reforms that they're implementing, whatever moves that they make policy-wise, they have to make sure to keep an eye on how it affects the overall inflation. Challenges and risk, which is something that we all are aware of. Despite the potential benefits, challenges remain that could undermine the positive effects of the hydrocarbon law on currency exchange rates. Political instability. That's when we see a lot of bickering going on between these groups. As long as you have Iranian-backed politicians running Iraq, it's really iffy on how stable they could be politically. Corruption. We know they're infested with corruption, especially at the government level. Mismanagement of resources or failure to implement reforms effectively can hinder progress in attracting investment or increase production capacity. While somehow, some way, al-Sudani has been very effective being able to implement a lot of changes, he is successful and he has managed to do this while going against the coordinating framework, which is amazing. Such issues can lead to fluctuations in oil revenues and subsequently affect confidence in the Iraqi dinar. So a lot of these things pretty much go with anything that Iraq is doing. Let's just be honest about it. They don't necessarily need this in order for them to change the exchange rate. They just need a lot of stability. They need a lot of these restrictions from the United States removed. And you'll know that these restrictions have been removed when you see our banks buying and selling the Iraqi dinar. I only trust you, Pumpkin. Thank you. I appreciate the confidence. Mental. Sometimes. Pimpster's the best. I miss your stock watch and what you do think of XRP right now. I'm still stacking. Always be stacking when you can. I appreciate this. I know a lot of people have been asking about Stockwatch. Now, I haven't changed the spreadsheet in a few months, so it'd be interesting to see where it stands now versus where we left it off. We know that Bitcoin definitely went up, so there should be a jump there in value. Actually, it is okay to tell someone you are fasting. The Bible says, do not brag about it with a holier-than-thou attitude to make people think that you are something special and so holy. No, the Bible is very specific. Matthew 6:16 through 18 instructs you on how to fast. When you fast, do not look somber as the hypocrites do, for they disfigure their faces to show others that they are fasting. You're not supposed to have any signs that you're fasting. If you're running around talking about, oh, I'm starving, this dang fasting, or you just look like you're suffering, and it kind of gives the people an idea that you're fasting, that's not what you're supposed to do. It says, truly I tell you, they have received their rewards in full. In other words, what Jesus is saying here is, look, if they're suffering and they're making their faces, that's their rewards for letting everybody know that it's obvious that they're fasting. But when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face. And why is that? You don't want people to see any signs that you're fasting, so that it will not be obvious to others that you are fasting, but only to your Father, God, who is unseen, and your Father who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. So no, you're not supposed to tell anybody that you're fasting. It even tells you in the Bible to do it in secret. So no, you shouldn't tell anybody. You should just do it on your own. This is something special between you and God. Pimpy, every time I hear her or even see her, I change the channel. I think you meant Pimpy, but close enough. People ask me all the time, do I ever watch their channels, or do I ever see other people doing dinar? Do I ever watch their videos? And the truth is, I don't go out of my way to watch the videos, but a lot of times I'll come across them and I'll pay attention to them. Or when somebody brings something to my attention, they say, hey, listen to this video and tell me what you think. But for the most part, I don't just talk about the Iraqi dinar, although recently I have been. There's like 50 billion other things going on. Election season's over. I spoke a lot of politics, which drove me crazy. And now there's a bunch of other new things that are popping up. So I try to cover them all as much as possible. I don't know about you, but recently there has been a slew of UFO sightings, which is really weird. Pimpy, where is the wise? Are you sharing where the real money is going to be made? Let me know, and I'll let your members know. I'm out, and I want to say anything ever again about this. It's all on you from here on out. Me and you have talked on this a few times, so I'm not talking anymore. What are you talking about? The Iraqi Stock Exchange? I think that's what you're talking about. Now, I get asked this question all the time. Pimpy, which one's better to invest in? Should I invest in the Iraqi Stock Exchange through the Wise Group, or should I buy the Iraqi Dinar? Well, in my opinion, the stock exchange is the better investment, because these people are going to tell you that, oh, you're going to make millions of dollars. There is no proof out there that you will. And I'm not saying it's not possible. It is possible. But I've been watching these stocks on the Iraqi Stock Exchange for quite some time, and they are dirt cheap right now. You would literally be getting in with the group at the ground level. And over the past few years, we've watched the Iraqi Stock Exchange grow and grow and grow. And we now own hundreds of millions, if not billions, of shares of Iraqi stock. So first of all, I think there's less than 50 companies on the stock exchange at the moment. So it is growing. I think when we first got into it, there was only 30 companies that were on there. So they continue to grow. But as Iraq's economy rebounds, as they start to come out of the dark ages, and the country really starts developing again, those stocks are going to grow, and continue to grow. And we're getting dividends from them. So you're going to be getting yearly money. You can keep getting that money till you pull yourself out. That's different than investing into the Iraqi dinar, which is a one-time thing. Once they change the exchange rate, whether you hold on to it or exchange it, most people are going to exchange it and get their money out. That's it. It's a one-time shot. Investing into the stock, in my opinion, allows you to continue to get revenues from here on out. As it currently stands, as we get dividends, I think we voted as a group and said to keep reinvesting it back into the stock market. So we're getting money, dividends are being paid, but it's being reinvested into more stock because it is a great opportunity. We own, like I said, hundreds of millions of shares, if not a billion shares. Many of the stocks that are available on the stock exchange. So if you're interested, just give them a call here, 850-520-2693. Just let them know that Pimpy sent you. And they'll take care of you. They'll walk you through the process, okay? What I want to do is take a look at the older spreadsheets compared to where they are now so that I can do a side-by-side comparison and show you the growth is what I'm aiming to do since the time we first got in so you can get an idea of what type of investment this really is. Pimpy Vegas called in, or what? Hey, any news on why Nader posted a video, then when I tried to view it and he took it down? Knowing anything? I don't know anything about his videos. You guys are asking, and I apologize. I don't even know what the video was about. So it could be a number of reasons. It might have been that he said something and later on found out that it was incorrect and he removed it. Or sometimes YouTube has a habit of just editing or removing videos for one reason or another. It just really depends on what it was about. But I'm not sure what video you guys are talking about. Lisa Peters, I listened to her and you're taking her comments out of context. You have nothing better to do than try to ruin her character, in my opinion. Just saying. Well, there's nothing wrong with your opinion. I don't need to ruin Melanie's character. She ruins it on herself. There's nothing that I say that's out of context. So I don't know if you're really listening or not listening, because if you pay attention, I play everything she says all the way through so you can hear it yourself. So that's not taking it out of context. Taking a snippet of something she says and twisting it around, that's taking it out of context. But I play her videos all the way through, so there's nothing taken out of context. She's just a fraud. She's fake. Look, but if you like her, more power to you. She's just full of shit. She has a lot of people believing, oh, she's talking to God. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm not the person that judges people on whether or not they talk to God. Everybody should be building your own relationship with God. But it's the way she's talking that tells me she's full of shit. You know, God told me I have a new ninja plan. I'm going to give you guys because it's better than the other one. She's a fraud. I think anything that you get from God, you should share for free. Because God didn't say, oh, Melanie, I'm going to give you this ninja plan, and I want you to charge $199. You notice how the prices keep going up and up and up. And I warned her several times, she better be careful about what she's doing, because what she's doing is actually illegal. And I did a video showing everybody why it is illegal. But if she wants to keep doing it, she takes the risk. That's all I can say about that. Anyways, I just wanted to take a couple of moments just to go ahead and respond real quickly to some of your comments. I will do some other videos because people are saying, how come you didn't respond to my comment? I will do that. I usually don't do it under the video. I usually make a video and respond that way. Anyways, I absolutely positively appreciate you guys chiming in. We'll get at you later. I'm out.